Welcome to Voice of Reason.
When the foundation is faulty, you can't get anything out of it. You have foundation of a bungalow, and you are building a 10-story building on it, like the Korea that collapsed. It's not going to work. They are on a different voyage, working from answer to question. So I believe they are misdirected. They cannot solve the problem of Nigeria as it is today. You see, we are not taking things from first principles. It's not about conference. We need to go, and it's like you want to build a house. You buy land, you have to dig foundation. In 1954, 1956, there were efforts made to talk. How would Nigeria look like in 1960? That approach is what we need too. The people who believe they are in Nigeria need to talk on their own, and then we can find solutions. I'm not even talking about injustices. That's a different issue. I'm talking about the fact that the Nigerian state is bankrupt. Nigerian state is insolvent. Nigerian state doesn't have resources to maintain what we have. It's like somebody is working in central bank for years, and then he lost his job. But before he was staying in a 5-bedroom mansion with 5 cars. He's used to student schooling overseas, expensive life. But now he lost his job. It's not right for him to go to a 3-bedroom bungalow first, to pick up and now live a normal life. So Nigeria has been living in borrowed robes because of oil. We created too many ministries, too many states, 774 local governments. We now have 41 trillion naira debt. We have no light. We have no diesel. We have no petrol. We have no roads. ASU is on strike. So, see the government now, they just appointed another 9 ministers. It's like somebody who is drunk. He lost his job, but he's drunk, and he's still taking more debts. That's the way Nigeria is. The design of Nigeria in 1960, if it didn't concrete in 1966, things would have been better by now. India has been the same, and they are making progress. But the soldiers who came in, they are illiterates. They all went to the army because of the Civil War. They are not schooled. They just came in with the jackboot to be in charge, and there have been terrorist societies in that time. They make you commissioner, they make you secretary of the government, they make you this, they create states, they create things. Military way. That's the problem. Obasanjo himself came about because they shared oil blocks among themselves. They're already empowered. And since everything is based on money, if you're a professor, they just go and sit down. You're a PhD, go and sit down. It's to award contracts. All our lives, every Wednesday is to award contracts. Contracts that will not be executed. So they have an unfair advantage. All the generals, Danjuma, Babangida, they are still controlling because they appointed people with all the oil blocks. So you want to pay 100 million now to get form. How do you get it? It's all oil money now. Money has been diverted now to oil the political system. So the soldiers are still in charge. Buhari is part of the system now. Danjuma is part of the system. All of them. David Mark. 1979 Constitution was dictated by General Murtala when he launched the Rotimi Williams panel. It was his flavor. When the draft was submitted, eventually, AFRC removed so many things from the draft, and they put so many things inside. They put Land Use Act inside. They put census inside. They put so many things that we cannot recover up to now. So the military is still, from 1779 to 1999 Constitution, the same unitary government is still the flavor. And it's based on crude oil sharing. You know, when somebody is sitting on the throne of privilege, it's very difficult to dislodge him. Very difficult. We are making efforts to appeal to their reason, to appeal to their sense of duty. But when somebody is sitting on the throne and it's based on goods that are not deserved, he won't give it up very easily. We have been preaching sovereign national conference. We need to talk about constitution. They will say, go to National Assembly. And they know that National Assembly, former governors are all there now. People who are having the same privilege that you are saying they should give it away. They will not give it away until some time will come when we have all suffered enough. Maybe we're able to say no to them. For now, they are winning. Our problem is fundamental. As I said earlier on, we need to scale down government. You cannot afford 360 House of Rep members anymore. We can't afford 108 senators. We can't afford 44 ministers. We can't afford 36 states. We cannot afford 774 local governments. We cannot afford 36 state assemblies, all drawing money. We used to have 2.3 million barrels of crude oil. Now it's 1.3 million barrels. So my challenge is economic. I'm not even interested in political. We have become devalued. Now the concession, the airport and port in Lagos to Chinese. So you're already bankrupt and you are selling your assets at giveaway prices to foreigners. But somebody who, in a family, you have a vagabond, he'll be selling the house of the family one by one until he sells everything. That's where we are. We cannot afford dual camera legislator. We need only one camera. We cannot afford presidential system. We need parliamentary system. We cannot afford 62 items on the exclusive list coming to Abuja every time. We need to decentralize so that Abuja doesn't need to control more than 6, 7, 8 items. We need to create regions, not 36 states. Regions maybe between 7 and 9 that can sustain itself without relying on crude oil from Niger Delta. This is what we need. First and foremost, there are 2 kinds of regions that will come out. There will be regions that are homogeneous, Oduduwa region, Ijaw region. They are already standing on their own. Maybe Gwari in Niger and Kwara. The others we have to aggregate and be a federation. They have to have an agreement, a constitution that says you are a federation. Okay, let me illustrate. Even in so-called Oduduwa region, we have to have a constitution that is federal. I found out, I did the research myself, there are 25 sub-nationalities in Yoruba land. Ekitis, Ijebus, Ijesha, Awuri, Igumino. Each of these sub-nationalities have their own territorial land. They can even exist as a country on their own. Ijesha can stand on his own. So 25 of the sub-nationalities now have to be, we now have to have a corporation, a federation. We will not have a big government in Ibadan again. No. Everyone will be autonomous within Oduduwa region. Everyone will live on his own right. Ondo has bitumen. They don't need to share with anybody now. The bitumen belongs to them. That's not the truth. In Okeogun, they have marble. That belongs to them. In Ilesha, we have gold. Gold belongs to Ijesha land. We have a small government in Ibadan that will pay dues to run not more than 6 or 7 ministers. That's what we need to set up too in the Oduduwa region, a very lean government. I've already written about it. Each of the states now will retain their boundaries, but will downgrade them to provinces. We are not going to have House of Assembly in the 6 states anymore. In fact, what we are going to have in the state now will be provincial administrators that will just take executive project management approach. One law makes enough for the law of Yoruba land. We don't need 6 law centers. Why? It's a waste. We don't have the money again. Osun State is bankrupt. Ekiti State is bankrupt. Ondo State is not viable. Oyo is struggling. They are owing 1.3 trillion naira. With all the money coming, as it's coming, they are wasting it. So if we don't reduce government drastically in the region, and then let's make the point, a very, very important point. If Oduduwa region becomes on its own, from that day, crude oil money starts coming from Abuja. From that day, we are not going to be collecting money from Abuja again. So do people know when they say Yoruba nation, do they know that they just will now take their oil away? We are now going to start living on taxation. Let us leave oil from Abuja. Let us run our region on our own. In 1 year to 2 years, we will find direction. There will be no waste anymore. We're not too big, but the only thing is that take Lagos. Lagos, by virtue of law, they have more money. So they can pay their governor 5 million per month. But how can Osun pay governor 5 million per month? The cost of living in Osun is not the same cost of living in Lagos. Everybody will find its own level. We are living artificially equal life, which is fraudulent. By the time we shake the system, everybody will find its own level. Do you know, travel and cross to Niger Republic, you will see that they are not so rich like us. They are not aggressive. They are living normal lives and they are happier. In Nigeria side, where we have so many SUVs, are we having peace? Travel to Benin Republic. You will see difference between Lagos side, Ogun State side, and see Benin Republic side. They don't have oil. They're on their own. They're better off. We can't get them to do it. Nobody who has power will give it up. We have to keep agitating and agitating and agitating. So at a point, we wake up that we have been put to the wall. I must say, it happened in South Africa. You have to have enforcement means against those who are collaborating with the existing system. The time will come. But you don't get goodness from just benevolence. It will happen. It could be 10 years' time, but it had to happen. It's not by easy. They're not benevolent person will do it. Tinubu will not leave all the money that is collecting now. He has a law for him to collect 2 houses every 3 years. He has a law to collect 250 million allowance. He has a law to collect all kinds of monies. Will he give it up on his own? He will not. So until people are angry enough to say it is too much, then he will say, please, let's negotiate. That's what I think. No, Nigeria is headed towards it's a boat that is going to sink. I hope we'll be lucky that it will not totally sink before we say, come on, let's look. There's no petrol now all over the country. I'm not in Nigeria now, but I know there's no petrol, there's no diesel, and there's no aviation fuel. Also, it's not going back. Last year's jam, they've not been admitted. This year's jam, they've done no results. It's getting momentum. It's getting momentum, and kidnapping is easy to do now. So all the factors of breakdown, they are coming gradually. It's so sad that the innocent will suffer even before the wicked get their own share. There is no election. They are just buying space. They bought primaries, 100 million each. Is that election? No. Then in Ekiti State, the report says 10,000 for a vote. Is that what we grew up as young people in Nigeria? So all the candidates now, you offer 1,000 or 3,000 or 10,000. That's not election now. So let the political class think that the money they have stolen, they can buy their own rulership over us. They want to legitimize the fact that they are slave masters, and they want us to rubber stamp it for them. They will say there's an election. See, the governor of Ekiti State, I said he didn't hear where they're sharing money. He said he didn't see it. We wouldn't see it now. Why will he see it? He didn't see it. And so they won't see it. So let them continue bringing the money. Look, between now and February, all government allocation into the states is being packaged to be given out and dole out so that they can get 4-year term again to be managing the money. How did 19 people pay 100 million to buy form? How did the Minister of State Agriculture have 100 million to buy form? What factory is Fireman running? He had PhD in UK now. When did he get factory to produce 100 million? Where? Professor Boro Face, where is a bookstore? Where is his quarry that he got 100 million to buy form? He's got my money. Well, I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but let them prove that. Show your shop where you are selling. Are you selling spare parts? Are you selling textiles? Are you mining gold? We know what Mark Zuckerberg is doing now. Let's even Tinubu show his factory. We are like vagabond prodigal son now. We mismanage everything. What do you want the father to do? The father gave you all your rights and you went to squander it. Until you come back and say, Dad, I'm sorry, I want to live like a human being now. Then you start afresh. Then you obey the rules. No, God is looking at us. God, what will God do? All the wealth that these people they have now, why can't they give it to us to start universities? But they will not.